It's been a long time coming, but I'm back. I'm back. I'm stronger. I am willing, and I'm ready to fight.
I might be wounded, but I will not be defeated. In spite of everything that I've been up against, I will rise.
This is a time for redemption. Redeem yourself. Get back in the fight again.
The greater the challenge, the greater the reward. Focus on the opportunities that are available to you.
Yes, things have happened in your life.
Yes, not getting the outcome you expected hurts.
Yes, you have been beaten a few times in your life. But being beaten doesn't mean that you're done.
Yes, having to pick yourself up after being knocked down is hard. But those are just temporary moments. Those are temporary moments that you will get through and bounce back from.
You got to turn it up, and you got to turn it up right now.
In this very moment, you have the power to shift your energy. You have the power to shift your thoughts. You have the power to shift your results.
You must be willing to stand up, to fight as hard as you can, to understand within yourself that purpose must be fulfilled within you. Redemption is at hand.
You have more power than you realize. It's all up to you. I need you to repeat after me. I will rise. No, you have to say it like you mean it.
I will rise. Throughout my life, I have experienced so many setbacks, so many losses. I have been angry. I have cried at night. I even felt sorry for myself. If I'm going to be great at something, what good am I if everything that I come in front of breaks me down to where I can't carry myself anymore? You got to be willing to go through the pain, to go through the struggle, to know that your existence matters. You have something that is inside of you right now that you possess that must be awakened, that must have the fire to rise again, to push again, to wake up again.
I'm not a victim. I'm an overcomer. You see, crossing the finish line wasn't easy, but redemption feels so good. You see, when you step into a season of redemption, you begin to experience breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. And you are compensated for all of the pain and the discomfort that you've had to endure.
We all face unforeseen battles, and sometimes these battles are not meant for us to win at that time. But that does not mean that you stop living. That doesn't mean that you give up now.
You've been through hell. You've been through pain. You've been through disappointment. You've been overlooked and misunderstood. But that's all behind you. It's time for you to get everything you've ever wanted and more. Are you willing to show up like you've never shown up before? It's time for you to shine. Your day of redemption is here.
It will never be an easy day, but it's a day for redemption. It's a day to be able to lift your head up and say, I am here. I am strong. I am willing. I'm not done yet.
If you are feeling down, snap out of it. If you are feeling unmotivated, snap out of it. You have to rewrite the story you've been telling yourself so that you can step into a new level of abundance. You have to say it until you feel it. You gotta say, I will rise, until you literally see yourself rising above all the doubt, all the worry, and all the stress you've been under.
The time is now. Redemption is at hand. What do? Do you stand and fight? Do you sit and wait? Or do you become a warrior? Not too many people are ready. Not too many people are built for it. But you must take that stand. I am strong, I am ready, and I will dedicate myself because I have been redeemed.
So stop saying it's too hard. Stop saying you don't know what to do. It's time to change your inner conversations. It's time for you to go back and get everything that was taken from you. It's time to go back and recover your losses. It's time for you to rise up. It's time for you to get up. It's time for you to go higher, go faster, test your limits.
I will not give up. I will not quit. I will live this life through all of the heartaches and pains. And I will continue on until my last breath. I am better than I was yesterday. I am the best of myself, not the worst. Nothing will hold me back. If it did not create me, it will never break me. For I am redeemed, and this is a moment of redemption.
You were chosen for this moment. Let's go.
You talk a lot about purpose, why we are created as humans and why we are here. Like, what is the purpose of life? Why have we been given life?
I think we're here to struggle and to learn. I don't think we're here to be happy. That's why when we keep going back to the happy argument, I've always found that kind of frustrating and annoying. Yeah. And someone goes, oh, but I want to be happy. Why? Why do you want to sit there and laugh? Like you were happy your entire childhood. That's your happy days. You're allowed to be happy as a kid. It's all over now, right? You're a man, you have responsibilities. I think we're here to do important things, and important things are going to be difficult, and they're going to be hard, and you're going to get frustrated. But that's what gives you purpose. I think we're here to struggle. I think we're here to endure pain. I think we're here to just see how hard we are to kill. I think that going through terrible things and living through them and coming out the other side is one of the most fantastic things about being human. I think that it's almost like once you understand what life is really about, there's no emotion which isn't enjoyable. The only emotional state which can be seen as detrimental is feeling nothing at all. But if you're sitting at home and you're feeling truly heartbroken, at least you're feeling something, right? And I think that's the whole part of being human. I think we're here to struggle. I think we're here to go through pain. I wake up each day and go, what can I attack? What problem can I solve? And look at history. Why did Genghis Khan wake up and want to conquer the whole world? Why did Napoleon conquer the world? Why did Alexander the Great conquer the world? You just wake up and just say, give me this, give me that. I want all of it. Yeah. There's an army there. They're really big. We're better. It's intrinsic. You need to go and conquer. That's the purpose of life.
You believe that God created us. So why did God create us to struggle?
Because if you don't struggle, you don't learn. God created us to learn and understand ourselves and understand other people and understand the world. And what did I say earlier? I said that you don't learn a lesson without pain. So you have to struggle to learn anything. There's only two ways to learn things, the hard way or the harder way. If you're smart, you can learn the hard way. But in my experience, 99% of the planet only learn the hardest possible way. If you want to feel happy inside of yourself, and you want to feel content, and you want to feel stable inside of yourself, you need to live true to God. And I'm not saying you can't drink a little bit of alcohol or not party or not have a little bit of fun, but you have to be a good person. I don't believe in the societal paradigms in which they have tried to construct this idea of happiness. I don't believe or subscribe to the way that happy and sad is currently understood by the masses of the population. I think if you are anything less than absolutely distraught, you are happy. You're a version of happy. It's like saying gray is a version of black, right? No matter how light the gray is, you can still call it a version of black. And unless you've gone through an event, which hopefully doesn't happen too often, like the passing of a family member or something that's truly destructive and detrimental to your mindset, besides these events, which hopefully only happen a few times in your life, you should be happy. If you're not crying or paralyzed in silence due to the absolute magnitude of a detrimental circumstance or the absolute magnitude of a negative event, then you are a version of happy. So I am always happy is the short answer. I don't believe in not being happy. I don't believe in not saying to myself I'm happy. I'm always a version of happy. And this idea of chasing happiness and always being concerned and preoccupied with how happy you are is actually the biggest mistake that a lot of people make, I think, in the world today. Especially men who wake up and go, oh, I don't really feel happy, so I need to get happier. And that's how they end up down a hedonistic path of drugs or alcohol or gambling, chasing pleasure. I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I feel happy or sad. It doesn't really affect what I do each day. I do the exact same things. I act the exact same way. I don't care. I don't put weight to the significance of the emotion. So I always consider myself a happy person, but if I woke up and I was slightly less happy one day than another, it wouldn't affect anything I do and I wouldn't put any relevance to it. I'm human and that's life. So yeah, am I any happier now that I have hundreds of millions of dollars than before I was broke? Not really, but I was never unhappy. I'm the same state that I was then that I am now. I have work to do and I will do it. It's as simple as that. Well, also, there's no light without dark, and there's no joy without pain. You can't have a rainbow without a little rain. No matter how hard you chase pleasure and happiness, there's going to be dips and troughs in between. There's going to be come downs and downtrends, and you're going to have the juxtaposition between that time you were laughing your head off and acting giddish like a child, and the time that you feel depressed as such. And I think it's much better to just adopt a very disciplined, stoic mindset. I'm always the same base level of happy regardless. If I lost all of my money today, I would be the same happy. If my net worth quadrupled, I'd be the same happiness. But as long as I'm alive and the people I care about and love are alive, and as long as God gives me the honor of doing my duties and providing for the people I care about, as long as I get to wake up and know that there's a whole bunch of people in the world who need me and I get to work hard to please them and do good for society and good for the world, then I'm a vessel of God and I'm happy enough to survive. That's all I look at it as. I don't ever consider how do I feel. That doesn't cross my mind. I have things to do. I'm too busy. I have things to do every single day. I have very important things to do, and how I feel really is not going to affect how I complete those tasks. And when I speak to men, they say I'm unhappy or I need to be happier. I think that's absolutely the wrong frame of life. You're a man, you have duty, you have honor, you have things you should be doing regardless of how you feel. And the people who are obsessed with happiness or sadness, I just think it's the wrong paradigm to view the lens of life. I think you should get up and do what needs to be done.
We live by this, we die by this, we don't surrender, we don't retreat. Every man must search his own soul. I'm talking about really soul searching with yourself, getting with yourself, sitting alone with yourself and working through them psychological traumas, emotional traumas. I'm a general, so I'm always on the front line as a general, but I gotta be able to look at each one of my soldiers and see what they need, whether it be psychologically, whether it be helping them with emotional intelligence to navigate their emotions, whether it be to show them how to nurture themselves, whether it be to show them how to exhibit their confidence and find that confidence in themselves. I gotta be able to look at whatever need that it is. And it's beautiful that God allowed me to go through all of these things because I'm a greater blessing. I embrace the things that happened to me in my past with a sense of positivity. I replace that negative emotion attached to it with a positive emotion, and I'm grateful for everything that happened. You love yourself? Because I love myself. So if you don't love yourself, how you gonna be able to love me properly? So many men that done been through that kind of all day, every day, and I made a space and a safe place for men to be able to start healing now. Masculinity don't have to be toxic. It can be sacred. You can love yourself so much. And now when I look at people in their eyes, I see myself or different versions of myself. And me being a nurturer, if I can aid and assist you along your journey, then cool. If I can't, then cool. Just sometimes me being able to just give you a look up, I understand what you're going through. Just speaking to somebody could change their day. That's a cry for help when you see somebody going to the gym 3-4 times a day. Something not right with him, but something wasn't right with me. And as men, we'll go to the gym and just kill ourselves and hurt ourselves in the gym to keep from hurting somebody else. There's a lot of men that suffer in silence. They come up to me, they hug me in the gym, they cry right there when they see me. Because I see you.
Amen.
I see what you're going through.
When you say suffer in silence, do you know how powerful that is?
We do. It's a lot of us that suffer in silence. I'm the one who's tried to take my own life. I'm the one who said these things so other people understand it's okay to feel like this. But this is the way that I changed it around. I take all of that negative emotion and energy and I turn my pain into passion. I put it into something that better serves me and humanity. I worked hard for these results. I suffered. I went through the fire. Adversity builds character. I wouldn't give it up. God bless the dead, because I ain't gonna give it up. I gave it my all and I ain't getting nothing from it. Gotta be love. I'm up in rank and I ain't push one button. We tatted with faces, I ain't getting uncovered. I know they still trying to get something punished. This me being triggered like this emotionally, where does this stem from? So it always take me going back. Was it ever a time in my life where my mama or somebody in the family made me feel like I wasn't seen, or made me feel like I wasn't good enough, or made me feel like I wasn't worthy? Like you'd be like, he's so cold-hearted. It's not that we cold-hearted, but we know it's only a matter of time before we go back to jail. So I can't even love my children like I want to. I can't get close to my wife because when I go to jail, I don't want to be in there stressing about them. I went on Mike Tyson and talked about, me and him shared a story about us both being molested. Like, I'm the only rapper that live in their truth. Ain't nobody living in their truth. I'm gonna preach to you with my actions. What I utter with my mouth, my actions must prove. And the greatest teachers teach without speaking. That's just always been my philosophy, because I'm still learning. And one of my biggest lessons is I'm learning to love the stranger that was once myself. My mind don't even think prison, because I've mastered that. Any facility I go to, I'm gonna be in a leadership position, because I know how to do that. That's not nothing. That's child's play to me. The hardest thing is can you come out here from nothing and be greater than what you was before? If you being factual, like I said, I'm not the richest man in the world. I done been broke more times than I done been rich. I done lost way more fights than I done won, but I won the ones that count. When you met me, you never saw me wear jewelry. My brother died, and I only wear diamonds because Mazzy, he loved jewelry. The beautiful blessing about growing up poor is you done already experienced and dealt and lived with every type of behavior pattern that you gonna ever deal with in life anyway, at an accelerated pace. So you wasn't shielded from the real world. That's the beauty in growing up poor or growing up in poverty. You already dealing with everything. So you already know how to navigate. It ain't been a time that I wasn't scared or I didn't have fear. It's okay to have fear, but I operate and I face that fear with bravery. Takers always recognize givers.
Boom.
The hardest thing for me to do was to set boundaries and say no. And this is the year that I've been putting the energy back into myself for the first time in my life. I had to make other people feel uncomfortable because misery loves company. Anybody I saw in shape, I had to make it not cool to be in shape. I had to make it not cool to look good. I was miserable. I was the most negative person to be around. I wouldn't have wanted to be around me. I was negative. Everything I do is emulated. So I am there. I was chasing something that I already have. The law of lenity states that whenever two opposing forces cannot come to an agreement, the lesser always rules the greater. And you know, I come as I am. I don't drink no more. I don't smoke no more. I go to the gym. I don't have no security. I am free. A lot of people out there that's really want to do the right thing, but they put too much on themselves. I did the small stuff. The little things add up to the big things. Like you start small and work your way. Like anybody that would say get into fitness, I start out walking and drinking water. I wouldn't even change my diet. Wherever you at in life right now, you on the right path, you where you supposed to be. Don't rush it. Slow and steady, anything. Slow be for sure, anything. Fast don't last. Just you having that intention to want to make those changes. Anything that go on in the body is energy. Yeah. We are energy. We can take that energy and translate it and transform it into what we need it to transform into. Right. It's just about knowing. Faith isn't something that you just think and believe. Right. It's that substance in your heart where you know, man, I know I could beat it. This is the first time I can say I've been proud of myself. A lot of my results came from beating myself up, being hard on myself. And I guess that was, that was a way of like dealing and working through like a traumatic past. And I just got to the point where I'm able to laugh at myself. I'm back able to stand up and do it from a standing position. You do it on your knees, but I'm able to stand up. I was doing it at first, but I had kind of ripped one of my ab muscles. My body wasn't ready. I was doing it prematurely. So now I'm to the point where I could do it, like standing up. And when I was doing it at the gym, I had kind of like slipped a little bit and I laughed at myself.
Yes,
and it felt good to be able to laugh at myself and not be embarrassed and not care about what other people think. So for the first time, I really been like happy, and I've been cautious of what I speak to myself. Like my biggest inspiration, Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna show you how great I am. He suffered. They made it hard for him, but he smiled. He found a way to smile through it all. Yeah, he suffered. He died doing what he loved, and I had put it in my mind like this music. I love it. I'm gonna die for it. I love it. I can't stop. I'm gonna die for this. I love it that much. I'm gonna die for it when a man meets his mission. Him and his mission become one. I'm gonna die for this. But when you live in your spirit and in truth, you make all of the wrong people uncomfortable anyway. So hey, I wasn't made for everybody to like. Once you change your perspective, that's when miracles happen. It was a blessing for me because I gained a greater understanding of myself. Yeah. I don't have to engage with the world. I create my own world around me.
Get back up. So from this day forward, 365 days together. No, we can't do it alone, but together we can. Together we can motivate this country. We can motivate this world. Let's love our brothers and sisters. Let's feed the poor. Let's show the world what a true king and queen is. Together we will rise, together we will fight. And if God says, together we will fall. Let's be phenomenal today, kings and queens. This was only the beginning. Because this life is not done with you. Your dream is not done with you. Mistakes turn us all into winners. Mistakes turn us all into perfections. There's gonna be days when it seems like it will never happen. The dream will never manifest. The money will never come. The cars will never come. But you gotta fight for something more than material. You gotta fight for the baby that lays in your soul, that burns your chest. Because if you don't feel this fire, then it's not a dream. Get back up. Can you hear me? I said get back up. Because this life is not done with you. Your dream is not done with you. See,
Many of us believe that we don't have what it takes. You have multi-million-dollar potential inside of you, and you don't need a dollar to obtain it. It's all inside of you. I heard a story one day about Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali was this amazing boxer. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Ali is. You're supposed to know. He's one of the greatest. He is the greatest of all time. One of my favorite athletes. He had a fight in Johannesburg, Africa with George Foreman. It went 8 rounds. And for the first round, George Foreman beat him up pretty bad. He hit him with body blows. He was literally lifting Muhammad Ali off the ground with these blows. But as the fight went on, the crowd started to count Muhammad Ali out. They started to believe that it wasn't possible for him to stay this champion. But Muhammad Ali had other plans. He had other intentions. Around the 8th round, when Muhammad Ali thought he was weak and he was getting ready to fall and he was tired, a champion came out. A true champion came out. And he told himself, I'm not going to lose this belt. I worked too hard to lose this belt. And I want you guys to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I worked too hard to lose this battle of life. I've came too far to quit now.
We all had those situations where we had to get back up. We had to dig down deep and find that warrior that lives inside of us all. And we had to use that warrior to get back up. Can you hear me? I said get back up.
And all you people that have been disconnected from life, and you don't know where you're going anymore, you're lost. You can't see the other side. Go back to the child that you used to be. Remember the greatness that you had inside of you. And we're going to pick that crown off the ground and we're going to put it back on your head today. It's time for us to start living our dreams and chasing them with relentless effort. It's time for us to start being phenomenal. It's time for us to bring unity back into this earth. We're going to do this together. We're going to change the world. Not just spark it. We're going to change the world. And we're going to rise together. We're chasing greatness. We're throwing average in the garbage can, and we're awakening the greatness that lies inside of us. Because as I say all the time, we are all a walking $1 million check. But it's up to you to sign the check if you want to cash it. We will fight, we will claw together. And we all have special pieces that if we bring together, we can never be stopped. We're going to speak for the underdogs. We're going to speak for the people who have no voice. It's time to rise. It's time to live. It's time to get what we deserve. If you don't get up when the count is at 9, you don't want it enough. It's time to stop listening to the outdated version and living in the now version. Your story is your story. Your journey is your journey, and it's always going to be different. Go to where there's no path and leave a trail. Let's be phenomenal. One is okay, but a nation is unstoppable. Keep being inspirational. Keep being beautiful. Keep being driven. And keep fighting for your dreams.